Joining me right now is Texas State Senator Royce West. Senator West, thanks for joining me here on Houston's Morning News. You're going to propose a bill early next year that would water down the Castle Doctrine that we have currently in the state of Texas. And my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of this has to do with the Trayvon Martin case in Florida. So my first question to you would be, what difference does it make what happens in Florida as it relates to the state of Texas?
Well, I mean, just like anything else, first of all, good morning. First of all, when we begin to look at laws, not only in the state of Texas but across this country, a lot of laws that we implement here in the state of Texas may very well be in reaction to other things that happen across the country.
But, Senator, I mean, let's be honest, if a house burns down in California, that doesn't mean that we're going to stop building homes here in the state of Texas. And with your bill, the way it reads right now, you're going to take away or suspend the CHL of the person that commits, that is involved in the shooting. You're going to take away the gun of the person that's involved in the shooting. Sounds to me like they're guilty until proven.
Matt, first of all, what you have to realize is that you're not given the full context of what it does. What happens right now if you have a deadly shooting, say by a police officer, the weapon is taken and examined, the case is sent to a grand jury, and a grand jury ultimately makes a determination as to whether or not it's a justified homicide. I'm basically saying that same process should take place as it relates to civilians. When you have deadly force utilized, you send the case, you let the police department do the investigation,
right.
Send it to the DA's office, send it to the grand jury to determine whether or not it's a justified homicide.
Well, they do that now, though. I mean, the DA would take a look at any shooting case.
And the question is whether or not it should be shouldn't just be policy, but it should be a matter of law that happens, so you reduce the chances of any type of Trayvon Martin.
So you want, but I mean, the Trayvon Martin happened in Florida, and I don't understand
there are a lot of things that happen in other states that we then turn around and look at.
Are we going to take a look at everything that happens in other states, and then take a look at all of? I mean, is every time something bad happens somewhere, we're going to take a look at the laws we have here in Texas and try and change them?
What happens, Matt, is anytime when you have something good or bad happens, you have a review of whether or not there's the potential of it occurring in the state of Texas, or whether it should happen in the state of Texas, and decide whether or not it's something that we should, in fact, enact. And what I've asked for, and let's be real close to the audience to know, what I've asked is whether I've asked for a study to determine whether or not we should enact the following. Number one, that all cases be referred to the grand jury. Second, during the pendency of the investigation, a person's concealed handguns license should be suspended, and obviously, if it's determined that the person has it was justified homicide, the license be reinstated. So I'm not trying to take away anyone's license. And then also, if you have a situation where the person's gun, or if a gun is used for deadly force purposes, if the gun is taken away during the pendency of the investigation, and what is returned once it's determined that it was, in fact, justified homicide.
All right,
Senator, and let me say this.
Hang on, if you would be kind enough, just hang on. I'm going to come right back to you here in just a second, and I'll let you finish up. Royce West is joining us this morning. We've been talking about the Castle Doctrine here in Texas and the bill that he will propose early. That is, you said taking a look at how we might change the Castle Doctrine. Now, I'm a CHL holder, Senator West, so I'm pretty familiar with this. You don't need a CHL license in your home or your castle, whether that be your car or your business or your home.
That is correct.
So taking away a CHL license would only be in a situation where you were outside of the home and you were in an area where you were licensed to carry. If you are a CHL holder, let's talk about taking the gun away, going to the grand jury. This is going to cost an awful lot of people who are defending themselves and their family a lot of money for attorneys, don't you think?
Well, let's and Matt, very good question. Here's the situation. In instances where individuals already are say they've used deadly force, the question is do they already, and there's police involvement, law enforcement involvement, do they already turn around and get lawyers? I mean, most people probably do. Because they don't know how to navigate the system. So you're not putting people to any additional expense that they probably already are not.
Well, most people would get lawyers, Senator, for a civil case.
No, that's not true.
I mean, if it doesn't go to the grand jury, you don't need a lawyer. If you don't,
I'm sorry. If you do you think that law enforcement? We may differ on this, and and that's fine because you have your right to differ with me. Do you think that the police department should be the ultimate determination as to whether or not force is justified? If you think that, then I agree with you. But I believe that citizens should review the work of law enforcement in making a determination as to whether or not force was in fact justified.
You know, I wish I had more time, and Senator, I hope that you and I will have a chance to talk further.
I look forward to it.
I do as well. I do as well. I think there's a lot of questions that we need to drill down on. But I thank you, sir, for coming on with us. We'll continue to have this discussion.